When did the Civil War start?
It's shortly after independence. Yeah.
So when did Savimbi die and how was he killed?
Savimbi was killed on the 22nd of February in 2002.
It's very recent.
Yes, very recent.
Hello fellow environmentalists and mindset changers, welcome back to Mijio Eco Care. This is one of our platforms. Wherever you're watching us from, there's a link to another platform that we have. We've got a YouTube channel, we've got a Facebook channel, a Facebook platform, Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah.
And then another story that is very prominent from Rwanda, not from Rwanda, Rwanda, that's the capital, isn't it?
Yes, Rwanda is capital.
That's the capital. From Angola, yes. Is the Jonas Savimbi story. What's the story and what was his fight about?
Jonas Savimbi was part of the liberation movement. We had three main liberation movements. The MPLA, which stands for the National Movement for Angolan Liberation, and the FNLA, which is the National Front for the Angolan Liberation, and the UNITA, which is the the Union for Total Independence for Angola. Mm-hmm. Why started they have? We had the three main movements. The issue is that they were divided across visions. Mm-hmm. They could not come up together to patch their vision in just one vision. Why is that? Perhaps because of ethnic backgrounds and also the influence of, global politics. Mm-hmm. The global politics, for example, FNLA was based in Leopoldville, which is the current Kinshasa, the capital of DRC. Mm-hmm. And most of the Angolans were DRC. They were tended to belong to FNLA. Mm-hmm. But then there was another movement which started in Angolan urban areas as well as in Portugal, among those Angolans who were either in urban areas in Angola or in Portugal studying. Mm-hmm. That's the MPLA. They couldn't come together with those one who were based in Congo.
Yes.
Yes. They built their own vision. Mm-hmm. And then it later on comes...
So where did Savimbi belong to?
Jonas Savimbi belonged to UNITA. Mm-hmm. And then those students who were sent by the church based in the center of Angola, they had their own vision. They have exploited the weaknesses of the first two. They said, look, we can't be part of the FNLA because the FNLA is based in Congo. That's too far to fight against the colonial powers. Mm-hmm. It's very far. Mm-hmm. We have to be, inside of the country. Mm-hmm. And then when they approached the MPLA, they said, no. Look, this is the time of Pan-Africanism. And MPLA is full of white and mixed race people. Mm-hmm. And that, the African community will never understand us because, the vast majority of Angola, they are black. Mm-hmm. How could that come that we will be, commanded by white mixed race? Mm-hmm. Because they are part of the colonial mindset. Mm-hmm. Although they are liberated, but that's why UNITA came later. Mm-hmm. FNLA was created around the 60s. And players were in the early 60s. But then the UNITA came in 1966. Let me say around 5-6 years after the two have started already. And then instead of being like MPLA was based in Congo Brazzaville, FNLA in Congo DRC. Instead of them being based outside of the country, they start within the country. That's why their founding movement was started within the country. um, especially inspired by the Chinese Revolution, Mao Zedong. That's why we had these three movements. Yes. And Jonathan started there. His fight was more motivated.
Was he already in the Angolan military, or he was just a rebel from inception?
No. Yes, he was a student when he started thinking of founding a new party, a new movement. He was studying in Switzerland, but obviously before he founded the rebel movement, he joined FNLA, which was in Kinshasa, in Congo. But then he spotted the weaknesses. He didn't agree with many things. Yes, the vision and the strategies as well. That's why, he broke apart, and he started the new rebel movement. That was his story, General Savimbi. That was the starting point.
So his fight wasn't for minerals. He wasn't fighting to get access to diamonds or anything else?
Not really. That was not main aim. As far as I can see, from what I have read, from what I've heard, his main fighting was due before the independence was to get a share on independence. And you see, the main problem which caused the rebel movement to be so strong and well armed is that the colonial powers, the Portuguese authorities, they were slow in terms of giving the independence to Angolans. Then Angola have started building up strong armies to fight the colonial powers. When the independence came in 1975,
you got independence in 1975.
75. That was too late, because if it happened in the 60s, that would have been very, very easier to call up them, for them to come together and to disarm everyone and to start the political struggle.
So after independence, when did the Civil War start? It's
shortly after independence.
So 1977, and then like how long?
1975. It's something let me tell you that even before independence, around 1970s, whenever all of those three, whenever they found each other, they fight each other. They started fighting in the bushes. Yes. But when the independence came, those three movements, they were divided across global politics. The FNLA was too weak, and it disappeared. In military terms, yes, disappeared. The later Mobutu Sese Seko made an agreement with new government from Luanda, led by NATO, and then one of the requirements was to disband FNLA. NATO was disbanded. They were not so strong enough. But Jonathan did not accept that. Then he went to Bush. What happened that the Cold War patrons, they were found allies with both sides. The ruling party, MPLA, led by Agostinho Neto, which was leading the new government, was supported by the Soviet Union and all communist countries, with the exception to China. Yes. And then the rebel movement led by Jonas Savimbi, which was UNITA, was supported by the US, UK, all the Western countries. Yes, that was the problem. Why is that? Because, the Western countries were worried. They want a buffer zone, to control, to influence the communists. They think that if the Soviet Union allies take over Angola, Namibia, and South Africa, the whole Southern Africa could become communist area. And then they will never have a chance.
Yeah, and then Che Guevara used to visit a lot Angola.
Yes, he visited well, I don't know whether he has visited Angola, but he was in touch with the MPLA as well as UNITA. Yes, he used to come a lot to Africa and to train rebel leaders. He came several times to Congo, the two Congo Brazzaville and the DRC. Yes, then he interacted with the Agostinho Neto, who was the leader of the MPLA, and and Jonas Savimbi was the leader of UNITA.
So when did Savimbi die, and how was he killed?
Savimbi was killed on 22nd of February in 2002.
It's very recent.
Yes, very recent. Very recent.
22nd February 2002.
Yes, it was very recent. The issue is that after fighting, then what was the approach of a new era was when the Berlin Wall collapsed in 1989. Then the communism started collapsing. That was a kind of open door for negotiations between between Angola, Cuba, and South Africa for the independence of Namibia.
Yes.
And then in March of 1990, it was the independence of Namibia that paved the way for the rebel movement and the ruling party to come together, because all of them, they were quite tired
Of the infighting.
Oh yeah, of the infighting.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they came to agree. There was an agreement in 1991, and then the peace, the so-called peace process started, because that process was signed in Portugal in an area called BISAS. Well, that agreement just lasts less than 2 years.
Guys, thank you for joining us on this particular episode. As you heard it, I took you down to Angola. We found out all the details that you need to know about Angola in terms of the capital city, the provinces that are in Angola, its history, and also a story about Jonas Savimbi. Stay tuned to this platform, and I'll see you next time.